Ah, the gentle sounds of 20-pound sledge. If anybody doesn't know, this is kind of what it does. Oh, here we go. Let's get that off of there. There you go. Boom. Connecting with the Doug Giles. Hope everybody likes him. Should be pretty good. Doug Giles, how you doing, sir?
Kicking ass, brother.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Let me
Firing up my cigar, buddy.
Hey, I like that. That's good. Let me get this going there. Bam, bam. And we'll get a little bit of a stretch on the image. Firing up a stogie. I don't smoke, but that's okay. You can. I don't worry about that. All right, so we got, what is it, a minute left or so? Yeah. So we're actually technically live on Facebook and all that stuff right now, but we have, at 9:03, we officially start the radio program. So all good to go. There you are. Very nice.
Yeah, how you doing, bud?
Doing good, doing good. Let's see here. I'm just checking all the stuff, making sure we're all good to go. We've got about a minute and a half left here. So you have a whole bunch of stuff going on. I mean, what's that? You got some new art that just got posted. Is that right?
Dude, I'm cranking like Lucy Ricardo on crystal meth.
I don't know.
We did $30,000 in prints last month.
Oh my goodness! Very nice. Now, is that all driven by the whole stuff that's going on?
It's all Trump related.
It is all Trump related? Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I've got a bunch of art numbnuts are like, so why are you doing political stuff? It's like, well, I'm an artist, and that's what artists have done, since the Renaissance. They've been political. They shoved it up the audience's backside, and so I'm carrying on the tradition.
There you go. There you go. All right. So before we really get started here, I'm going to ask you to just hold off and be as quiet as possible. Radio show is about to start in the next 15 seconds. Well, hello, everybody. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism. I am Steven, and I have with me tonight Mr. Doug Giles. How you doing tonight, sir?
Steven, how you doing, big dog? I'm smoking a cigar. I'm drinking a martini. I'm talking to you about American exceptionalism. How bad can it get, man?
It can't be much worse. It can't be much worse at all. I see you have your Eastwood print behind you.
Yeah, that's it's a beautiful print. I'm actually been commissioned to do 17 paintings for this epic saloon. I'm telling you, man, and this is a privately owned saloon. It's on somebody's property. Mm-hmm. And it's just the most amazing facility I've ever seen. And we're doing all Western iconic figures from old spaghetti Western movies. That's Josie Wales back there.
Nice.
Say hello, Clint. And done Raquel Welch is Hanny Calder doing what's her name? Claudia Cardinale next. John Wayne. We got frickin' Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Nice.
We've got Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. I mean, just this whole mashup of some of the greatest figures in Western movies. Mm-hmm. It's going to saloon. It's going to be epic.
That's amazing. So are you going to have Well, technically, he wasn't really like a big star, but you going to have any 1980s president?
Yeah, Reagan. I don't know,
have
man.
Reagan in there. I mean, that was his big thing back in the day.
No, the thing that I like about it, I wrote the book. I don't know if you did any research on me, but I wrote the book called Pussification, the Feminization of the American Male.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I dig about Ronald Reagan is that, he let off steam by riding horses, clearing fences, doing that kind of cowboy stuff, which doesn't really get done nowadays too much in Silicon Valley with all the sassy secularists that are suppressing speech. Oh, no. They would rather have, skinny Frappuccino with pumpkin spice lattes with that long green straw. But that's another subject, another topic for another radio show.
I don't know. This might be the show for that. That might be it. So
I'll follow your lead, brother.
There you go. Well, you have. So one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on was, well, in particular, because of the big stuff that's been going on with you. You went majorly political. Obviously, a lot of your original prints and everything like that you've had was all African savanna and, animals and things like that. And then you had the Eastwood and a few others. From what I've read on you, you've been drawing since you were a kid. You took a big break, and then in the middle of your life, and then, what is it, the past 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I've been cranking them out since like the late '90s and stuff. Took a break, took some bad advice from a well-meaning poor guy who thought, art's nothing, Stephen, but vanity of vanities. And I'm like, well, you know what? It is kind of, supercilious. And then it's like, hey, God created art. He is an artist. He is a creator.
Yes.
I've got these gifts, where I can paint, a nice horsey. So why the heck am I shelving them because some fundamentalist told me that art is a bad thing? So yeah, and so I got my little kit out back in the late '90s and just started cranking them, man. And never looked back,
That's great. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to promote. And obviously, you've been getting a lot of news and a lot of hits on your stuff because of the political realm that's been happening over the past 2 years. You have a couple of huge images. For those that are watching on the Mojo or on the Facebook page for DOAE show, I'm going to put these up here. You got brand new one brand new to me is Trump on the red wave.
Dude, that thing is so funny. When I was painting Trump surfing, I don't know whose body I stole it from. I think it was Kelly Slater, somebody like that. Uh-huh. But he's just coming down this pipeline. I mean, just complete concave, just covering him. And if you look at if you look at Trump's coif, man, not a hair on top, messed up at all.
Right.
And he's just completely just penetrating that pipeline. And I've got the Trump Punisher decal on the surfboard, and CNN sucks between his spread.
Yep.
And before I even finished it, it was in the sketch form, and this thing immediately, boom! I just put it out there on Facebook. Put it out there on Instagram, and bam, man, immediately it sold, and for a nice chunk of change.
Nice.
And we haven't even rolled out the prints yet, but everybody's like, well, there's a blue wave coming for the midterms, and and we don't know if Eric Holder or Kamala Harris or Cory Booker is going to go up against him in 2020. Listen, I'm telling you right here and right now, Trump is going to crush them like a narc at a biker party.
Ooh.
And this red wave that he's riding, Stephen, this is something that Trump created. And I've been on this like stink on a monkey since the inception. It's not because I'm prophetic. It's not because my crystal ball is unclouded. I just saw him tap the absolute patriotic discontent that millions upon millions of people have with the current system, whether it's on the right or the left. And, a cyclops could see this wave building, for somebody like Trump. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then, so one of the other ones also, by the way, anybody who's watching it on the show, on the streams, boom, there it is. One of the ones that I really enjoyed was actually the Mr. and Mrs.
Oh yeah.
And that's I posted that up there for all those people in the Facebooks. And then you have so many more. But you have, so along with that, obviously you have your Terminator one, which you just popped up. I'm sorry, the graphic image. Yeah, the Trumpinator. The graphic image that I threw up happened to block that for a second. Sorry about that.
I forgive you, man.
I'm trying to press your stuff anyway, so it's good things, right? Good things.
How much cut do you get? Is it 10% or is it up to 15 now? What is it?
Absolutely zero. So that's all right. So your book, with everything that you've done and the wussification of America, it's with that. Obviously, with the politics that you have. How do you feel about what's happened recently with the UN and Nikki Haley and such like that?
I think Nikki Haley's gold. Who knows? From what I can deduce from what we're being led on to, that this was been in the works for a while. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think all the all the never Trumpkins and those on the left and the right, they're thinking, she's bailing because of Kavanaugh. I don't think she's that shallow. I don't think Trump is. It's so funny. Every time they think that they've got Trump and that they have this aha moment, and he's going down. During the GOP primaries, during his run against Hillary, everything that they forecast, prophesied, and predicted was total and complete crap. The exact opposite happened. So when it comes to, these things happening, first of all, stuff happens. She's got a family. She's got other aspirations. She's got her vision. I think she served the country well. She was definitely tough on Iran and our other opponents.
That's for sure.
And so I don't look at like, she's a sellout and this is a washout and Trump's back on the ropes. He's Deadpool. Every time somebody on the left thinks that they have him, then boom, up comes Lazarus. He resurrects again. So I think it's, and again, second verse, same as the first, Herman's Hermits.
That's it. I can't say much more. That's actually a pretty solid point for what you're doing. So you have the saloon that you're doing. You have the book that you've done. You have all of the prints that you've posted and all the works that you got going out and sold for a good chunks of change. What aren't you doing right now? I'm
not eating dinner because I'm talking to you on this interview, man.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've been doing this for many moons. It's not my first rodeo. I don't know if you've done any deep dives on me, but I've been a columnist for townhall.com for many moons. Washington Post, USA Today, American Hunter. Been a whole slew of other publications that have published my stuff. My daughter Hannah, she's the girl that came up with the scheme, and she played the prostitute in the infamous Acorn videos that brought Obama's claim to fame down and saved us $8.5 billion in stimulus money when she showed them giving home loans for whorehouses for underage sex slaves from El Salvador.
Yeah.
She did that at the ripe old age of 19.
Very nice.
Yeah, my other daughter, Regis, she's the purveyor of Girls Just Want to Have Guns. And she's been featured in Elle magazine, which is not friendly to conservatives and Second Amendment, but they were to her, which I think is interesting. Given the whole Me Too movement, everybody's like, men are bad and we're victims. It's like, listen, I trained my daughters when they were young. Mm-hmm. Number one, sense BS. Number two, I made certain that they trained Stephen with world-class fighters with the Gracies. They're the first two females ever to get black belts in the Gracie Valenti School of Martial Arts. And
nice.
we've been doing this for a while. I'm not a Johnny-come-lately. What we're seeing now with the artwork and stuff is a kind of a condensation of me looking at the cultural and political milieu and celebrating somebody who's just been an absolute frickin' wrecking crane to all the stale cows of the system.
Can I hold you through the break, Doug?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, hold on one second.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9542. 800-915-9542. 800-915-9542. That's 800-915-9542.
Hey, this is Dylan and Steven from Defenders of American Exceptionalism, here to give you the facts about hydration.
Thirst pains are real. Chronic joint pains, headaches, and ulcers can often spell dehydration. Water's needed to carry acidic waste away from the cells, and when we're dehydrated, these wastes don't get carried away, leading our nerves to interpret it as pain.
If you're tired, it may be dehydration. One study found that a mere drop in water levels in the body can cause a 25 to 30% loss in energy. Even a 3% drop can cause fuzzy thinking, brain fog, and a slower metabolism.
How do you remedy this? Some people may ask.
Earthwater. Go to earthwater.com/DOAE show to get yours now.
These bottles are packed with 70 plus trace minerals, 9.5 pH balance, no carbs, sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, chemicals, or calories.
It's organic, gluten-free, and vegan as well because it's, well, you know, water.
And with this high active carbon and molecular oxygen levels and antioxidants, it will hydrate you the way to a better life.
That's earthwater.com/DOAE show to get your bottles today.
earthwater.com/DOAE show.
According to a 2017 Gallup poll, 85% of Americans hate their jobs. 85%. And most of those people will continue to hate their jobs over something as simple as updating and formatting their resume. Let Nicole's Resume Renewal Service help you gain a leg up in an already competitive job market. Please go to www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service and relieve yourself of the worry of an outdated resume. Use the promo code DEFENDERS and receive $10 off your order of a resume cover letter package. That's www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service. Don't be part of that 85%. Log on today at www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service and use the promo code DEFENDERS for $10 off.
And we're back. This is the Defenders of American Exceptionalism. You are finding us on Facebook.com/DOAE show. You can also find us on Mojo 50 Radio on the Facebook page, as well as their stream. You can also go to DOAEshow.com, where you can find shirts, hats, mugs, the latest on articles and other such things. And you can also find us, all of our videos, podcasts, everything down there on the site. And if you want to, you can join us and become a Defender with us. If you do that, that's $5 a month, $50 a year. And if you go annual, you get a free t-shirt on the hashtag I See What You Did There t-shirt. Now, Mr. Doug Giles, you're with us. Good times.
Yeah, man, I am. Believe it or not.
You're still with us. You were making a pretty cogent point about what's going on recently, and I wanted to, obviously we had to stop for the break, but something I wanted to point out while you were going through that awesome diatribe there. Apparently, Erica, one of our listeners, she now needs a Trump in a Deadpool suit shirt.
You know what, Erica? I think you just inspired the next painting. So coming soon. Stay tuned. I I can't let the cat out of the bag. But I've got 2 Trump paintings. Oh my God, man! I know I'm painting them, and I know I like them, and I like me, and all that other stuff. But one of them is so epic that milk came out of my nostrils, Stephen, while I was painting it. I was laughing so hard.
That's good.
I haven't had milk in like 10 years.
So that's pretty bad. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, so it's coming. But he is Deadpool, you know. Again, everybody's like, you know, Trump's out. There's no way, you know, blah blah blah, and everything that they've thrown at him. Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, Russian collusion. I don't know what's next. You know, Kavanaugh. You know, oh, it's a swan song. It's like, no, it's not. These numbnuts have no idea. He's so far ahead of them. I mean, he's just playing them just like an epic puppet master. And you know, from my point of view, man, is that look, I'm conservative with a lot of libertarian leanings.
I got you.
I like that he's just absolutely wrecking the left and the right, and they can't pigeonhole him. And the United States is a business, and it takes a businessman to understand how to run this thing. And, you know, again, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of them never Trumpkins, and they're like, oh, he's so crude, Stephen. He's so reprehensible. And a lot of the Christian guys, you know, they're evangelicals like, well, we could never have somebody like that be in our leader. And I'm like, oh, you mean like King David, who committed adultery and killed Bathsheba's husband, or Abraham, who boinked his maid and lied, or Samson, who dated a hooker, and Moses, who murdered a man. Oh, you mean you couldn't follow leaders like that? Hey, listen, for the chunky butt evangelical leader that's driving his little Toyota Camry, and he's just completely, oh my gosh, Beauregard, that Trump would do something like that as an unwashed billionaire. Listen, nobody's lining up to have sex with you, and you have no idea what it's like to be in his shoes when you, as an untethered man to the Christian faith, has billions of dollars, and like Tiger Woods, you got chicks lining up, you know, Scandinavian models lining up 100 yards long. What do you think the guy's going to do, you know? He's a sinner. Sinners do sinful things.
And speaking of sinners doing sinful things, a couple things that I wanted to hit on tonight's show. Have you heard the whole thing with Hillary Clinton and her coming back on the, what is it, CNN?
Right. And Bill's dalliances were different.
Right. But I'm talking about, have you specifically heard her portion of, you know, the whole hit 'em where it hurts sort of thing, where she's going through and she's talking about, well, yeah, if they're going to go low, we're going to hit them hard and stuff like that.
Yeah, Eric Holder said today, and thank God, man, you know, that my daughter made, you know, this undercover video phone popular when she destroyed Acorn. I mean, she's really the one who kicked off video journalism. It's like, if these dipsticks aren't going to do their job, then I'm going to frickin' do it. Right. And that somebody filmed Eric Holder say, when they go low, we kick them. Well, that sounds violent. No.
That's terrible. So, Doug, be very happy because you can't hear this, but I'm going to play the audio for people. This is Eric Holder saying just that.
It is time for us as Democrats to be as tough as they are, to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, you know, she and my wife, like, really tight, which always scares me and Barack. But Michelle always says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
And since you weren't able to hear that, it's when they go low, we kick them. And then everybody uproariously applauds.
Yeah, and for a reminder for the uninitiated that are listeing to your broadcast, that was the former Attorney General.
Yeah, the one that actually said, you know, I'm Barack Obama's man. I'm his wingman.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means either. But
got a creepy connotation to it.
It needs a bell at least.
But again, you know, Antifa, when they pound on cars, when they smash windows, when they drag this old dude out that's trying to get a woman in a wheelchair into his vehicle, they're not a mob. They're protesters. When Tea Party activists show up, back in 2009, these blue-haired old women, they're like, this is a riot. It's like, I've been to riots. That's not a riot. And I just love how the left is massaging the narrative, and they're trying to paint, like these terrorists, these Antifa terrorists, which I hope Trump starts arresting and prosecuting. Because,
are you talking about the ones in Portland?
Oh, man, yeah. Everywhere that these little, masked Dickie costume thugs rock up, man. I tell you what, if you notice, Stephen, they don't do that crap in Texas. Because if somebody grabs my door and starts smashing my windows, I'm going to double tap the center mass of that jackass, and he's going to be winging his way to Dante's Inferno, where he'll have probably an all-access laminate pass with Hitler and Stalin. Man, we don't put up with that crap, man. In Portland, you get away with it. In Texas, come down here. Come to the Texas Hill Country and try that crap.
I don't think it would. And you know what's really funny with it?
Step on my property, Antifa, and see what happens.
What's actually really funny. So there was a what is it? A First Amendment denying kids? Yeah. Okay. There was an activist group. For conservatives, I think it was YAF that actually went out. I can't remember exactly which, but they went onto campus and they actually went through and they had a $100 bill. And they went to campus and they went to all of these college students and said, can you tell me a time where conservatives ever tried to shut down a liberal speaker? Ever. If you can find one, if you can tell me, here's $100. Literally, nobody could do it.
Yeah, no, because they can't. I think that was Crowder. And
nope, it wasn't. Oh, it was Campus Reform.
Yeah, Campus Reform, YAF. I used to do speaking engagements for YAF and stuff, and these guys are they're spot on, because here's the difference, and here's look, I get not wanting to be a conservative. You don't want to wear the blue blazer, you don't want to wear the red tie, you don't want to wear the khaki pants, you don't want to have the dorky haircut, you don't want to be a frickin' square. And you're against everything. So I get all that. Like if I was a liberal, in my worldview, and the policy that I adhered to was so fragile that it couldn't stand debate. It couldn't stand somebody rivaling it during a speech. Then you know what? I would abandon it because I personally, as a human being, as a reasonable citizen of this great experiment in self-governance, I don't want to stand behind anything that has to ban speech and has to shut down Facebook pages and shadow ban Twitter users just because you can't handle the memes, you can't handle the argument, you can't handle the persuasive speech. You got to up your game. I lived in Miami, Stephen. I lived in Miami for 20 years, right next to the Gulfstream racetrack.
I got to stop you right there. If you can stay with me, that's great. But I do have to pause for just another commercial break. I'm sorry.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-249-8901 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-249-8901. Again, 800-249-8901.
So you're looking for a job, right?
Wait, no, should I be? I mean, I always keep my options open, but should I?
Well, We'll talk about that after this gets on. But if you happen to be looking for a job, one of the most important things you will need is an updated and current resume.
Are you trying to tell me something here?
Nicole's Resume Renewal Service is where you should go take your resume to the next level.
I really don't understand. Have you seen what happens when you try to go it alone?
Go to Facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service to get your resume in top shape. And don't forget to use the promo code Defenders for $10 off any resume package.
Is this because we aren't going daily right now?
That's Facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service. That's Facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service with the promo code Defenders for $10 off.
Is this really for me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, seriously. Is this for me?
Nah, it's water under the bridge.
Do you have a retirement account worth more than $100,000? Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. Gold is a better way. Gold is a better way to protect your retirement, a better way to grow your retirement, and better than everything you're currently doing inside your retirement account. At Advantage Gold, we're certain that gold is going higher in price and going to outperform stocks and bonds. We've created the world's first gold protection retirement platform ever built. If you have an IRA or 401k, you can get your free access. Once you see it, you'll have no choice but to agree. Gold is a better way. And all you need to do is call our recorded line for your special quote. You can join the site for free. Just call now to get your code. 800-932-2605. 800-932-2605. 800-932-2605. That's 800-932-2605.
And we're back. And before I forget, go to DougGiles.art. It's Doug Giles with a G, .art. That is the place where you can find all of his latest prints and things that you can find for all of your art needs. You should be able to decorate your entire house with these things, especially that Clint Eastwood.
Stephen, I've got to add an asterisk to what you just said.
Oh, okay.
That's if you're not a man child. That's if you're not in a marital union where they're like, we just want Precious Moments figurines and doilies and lame ass art on our walls. This is man stuff. This is everybody's like, why do you do these African animals? Well, listen. Art conveys, as far as I'm concerned, an attitude. Mm. If you wake up and you've got Thomas Kincaid's light in the cabin picture, okay, that might flick your switch. That might make you go down the road a little bit. But if you got a frickin' charging rhino, that's going to say something to your spirit. If you've got Winston Churchill smoking a cigar, looking over a bunch of papers, ready to kick some Nazi backside, that's going to make you kind of step it up a notch. If you've got these charging elephants, if you're surrounded by lions and Clint Eastwood and these epic things, it's going to make you do epic stuff. And like Churchill said, my amigo from days gone by, he said, we build our houses and then our houses build us. So when people talk about, well, art's kind of, it's tertiary to the human equation, I say au contraire, man, is what you have in your home and the way that you build your home. It's the way that you're going to build your life, and it's gonna, as far as I'm concerned, establish your glide path. You're either going to be a poodle or a pit bull, and it's all based upon the accoutrements that you surround yourself with.
Yep, that is very true.
But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
No. I think you have it on point. Me, personally, I don't have any pictures up at all.
Well, you got a green screen, but that's for
everybody else.
Purposes.
Shh! Right. It looks like wood tile. Shh! Why'd you do that?
No, so before we went to the break, I was talking about if you're going to be a liberal and you're so fragile that you've got to ban people and you've got to block pages and you've got to restrict reach. I don't know if you know my website. It's clashdaily.com. We were killing it, brother. all the way up until Trump getting elected. 10 million page views a month, 20 to 60 million reach on Facebook a week. So we're talking about just ginormous numbers. And then Trump gets elected, and it's like, we can't have that any longer. To me, that's pathetic. If you're, like I said, before we went to the break, I live next to a horse track in Miami. And what I learned there, Stephen, is that it's a difference of opinion that makes a horse race. And if your opinion, if your worldview, if your public policy is so frail that you've got to kneecap a horse, if you've got to keep it from running, then you know what? You've got something that sucks worse than an airplane toilet, in my point of view.
You know what else that sucks worse than? The new climate change report from the UN. Have you heard about it?
No, but on my way home from Dairy Queen, I threw the trash out on the side of the road. So, and I was driving a Ford FU 750 dinosaur global warmer. So
very nice, very nice. All dinosaur fuel all the time. So
melting glaciers as I drive down the road, man.
So here's the point. Literally, they're just saying, "Oh well, yeah, we were wrong, but it's only by a few years. We're just going to push it back another 10 years and then claim that it's all going to be the worst thing in the world in 10 years, 10 more years than now."
Yeah, of course. Just kick the can down the road. Stephen, you don't look as old as I am. I'm 55 years old. I got grandkids. I got all that kind of stuff. I remember back in the 70s, like global ice age coming, and it's just they prop up their boogeyman's, their red herrings. It's all for political power. It's all for suppression of freedom and in the capitalistic society. And they have nothing. They absolutely have nothing except fear mongering and boogeymans. And that's why I like Trump. He comes in there and just absolutely trounces them. Look what he's done to our economy. Look what he's done to our national security. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. I think it's so hilarious that CNN and their acolytes and the cabal and the mainstream media and the other cable news networks, they won't report on anything that he's done that's positive. Nothing. It's Stormy Daniels' network.
It's Stormy Daniels and transgenders. Stormy Daniels and transgenders. That's about it.
Yeah, and that's why their ratings are sagging, worse than an old pregnant dachshund's belly. I mean, it's just dragging the ground. I guarantee, Stephen, your show is probably right up there with Anderson Cooper's right now.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I mean, well, not for Anderson Cooper, but
I'm praising you and slighting him.
Yeah,
and it's just America. Here's the thing: is that America gets it. They can yarble on, they can blather, and they can do all the stuff that they're doing. In America, they see money in their pocket. They see a resurgence of our founders and framers' experiment in self-governance, coming up like never before. They see American exceptionalism. Who was it that reported yesterday? Forbes magazine. They said that foreign investors, because of what Trump has done just in under 2 years, are betting on America just because of they're seeing again that exceptionalism rise like cream to the top, and it just drives it drives the left nutty, and I love it, and so.
I mean that's exactly what it's about. That and our U.S. Marshals apparently. This is a story I wanted to share with everybody while we have everything. Maybe you get a word from you in on this. So apparently the U.S. Marshal Service came into Detroit. Detroit asked them to come in and help they have an actual unit in Detroit for missing children. Their police officers have a Detroit Missing Children's Recovery Unit. That's how they have 301 active cases right now filed for missing children. Anyway, the U.S. Marshals came in, and they went through, set up everything, got everything taken care of, coordinated efforts with the state, the sheriff's departments, and everybody in Detroit and Michigan and everything like that. And within a single day, They went and they were able to identify 123 of the 301 children. Not only were they able to do that, but out of those cases, they were able to identify that 3 of those cases were actually something to do with sexual crimes, sexual misdemeanors, and sex trafficking. It took them a day of effort.
Yeah, because they're ass kickers. They're not bureaucrats, sitting on their backside spending the poor Michiganiacs, as Ted Nugent would call them, tax dollar, just lolling around and stuff. And I don't know if you know this or not, but the Austin bomber was captured by my son-in-law, and the technology he and Hannah had access to from a bunch of geeks that figured out how to track people, not just going forward, but but going backward, not just 2 days or 2 months, but a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And they presented it while the Austin bomber, who is, I don't know if you remember this or not, but he was posited as a homeschooled Christian that's killing black guys. And so anytime I read that on CNN or Daily Mail, I'm thinking, well, probably the opposite's true.
Right.
And sure enough, they found him via his Grindr app.
Oh wow!
And he wasn't a homeschooled Christian kid. He completely abandoned his Christian faith. Mm-hmm. The 2 black guys he targeted were Christians, and he also set off a bomb in front of a church. Now, the Austin Police Department and the FBI, they didn't understand the tools that my son-in-law was using, but the Texas Rangers, OMG, brother, mm-hmm. They're like, this stuff is making sense. And so they drew a graph and they found, patterning, pinging that was going on in the first and second bombing. Yeah. And then they were tracking him by the third bombing. They narrowed it down to 2 people. The Texas Rangers found him in a hotel, I think, in Georgetown. They swooped in and then boom, he killed himself. So here's my point is that you can have we're talking about, not a few dollars spent. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars ineffectively spent.
Yeah.
While a couple of geeks, that have this technology, they said, we've got him. We know where he is. Will somebody listen? They're like, oh, you step aside, child. We have experts in the FBI and the Austin Police Department, and Texas Rangers were the only people that said, just like the U.S. Marshals, these guys have this in a stranglehold. We've got him, and boom, they pounced, and they found him. Of course, he was in like 10,000 pieces, once they got to him.
But at least they found him.
Exactly.
They found the 10,000 pieces. They were able to identify those 10,000 pieces as the person who was the bomber. I paused to bring this up. So we're going to stay in Michigan real quick here. And apparently in Michigan, there is a man who decided to make himself a eunuch, put on some fake boobs, and legally change his name and, quote, gender. When he did that, the Michigan Insurance commissioners, the insurance company actually punished his gender. Because apparently females in Michigan drive worse.
Oh, you got to love that, man.
So this guy goes through, and he's making a big case. I'm saying guy because it's a guy. You can't change that. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. You can't change it. You're a guy for the rest of your life, and you're a rather ugly guy, too. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
Here's the thing that how old was he? Do you know how old he was?
In 50s.
Oh, why did they wait that long? It's like it's like Bruce Jenner. It's like, hey, listen, if you're gonna get implants, if you're gonna start wearing these size 14 stilettos and hoofing around like you're a woman, why do you wait till you're freaking 70 years old? Because you can enjoy it much more.
Oh yes, you could.
Like when you're in your mid 30s. And you know what's wild about the Kardashians, Stephen? Before we go to break.
Oh, we're going to break. I got to pull you to stop there. We're going right back to break. We'll be right back.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family? You never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-648-9176. 800-648-9176. 800-648-9176. That's 800-648-9176.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-327-2381. That's 800-327-2381. 800-327-2381.
Hey, this is Dylan and Steven from Defenders of American Exceptionalism, here to give you the facts about hydration.
Thirst pains are real. Chronic joint pains, headaches, and ulcers can often spell dehydration. Water's needed to carry acidic waste away from the cells, and when we're dehydrated, these wastes don't get carried away, leading our nerves to interpret it as pain.
If you're tired, it may be dehydration. One study found that a mere drop in water levels in the body can cause a 25 to 30% loss in energy. Even a 3% drop can cause fuzzy thinking, brain fog, and a slower metabolism.
How do you remedy this? Some people may ask.
Earthwater. Go to earthwater.com/DOAE show to get yours now.
These bottles are packed with 70 plus trace minerals, 9.5 pH balance, no carbs, sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, chemicals, or calories.
It's organic, gluten-free, and vegan as well because it's, well, you know, water.
And with its high active carbon and molecular oxygen levels and antioxidants, it will hydrate you the way to a better life.
That's earthwater.com/DOAE show to get your bottles today.
earthwater.com/DOAE show. And we're back. Last segment of the DOA show. Got Doug Giles with me. Doug, you were about to go into a story that I had to cut you off on. I apologize.
Yeah, you know what happens when you keep up with the Kardashians? If you're Bruce Jenner, you're this world-class athlete. Mm-hmm. You want to be a woman, and Kanye West, he's like, I'm going to be a Republican. There's some hoodoo voodoo, man, in the Kardashian house that look, they're beautiful girls. I'm sad that Robert died early in their life and all the stuff. Mm-hmm. But man, there's some definitely tainted water in that household. And again, they're billionaires and all that other great stuff. You know, I wish them well, but you know, their dad's like, I'm going to put on stripper heels and get breast implants, and Kanye's like, I'm going to defy all the racial politics that's foisted on me, and I'm going to stump Trump. So there you go, man.
It can't be any better than that. Now you said hoodoo voodoo. Do you mean hoo-ha voodoo?
I don't know. I'm old, brother. I'm old. I don't know the colloquialism of the younger generation. I'm just sitting here walking around on my cane, you know, with my reading glasses. I don't know what's going on, buddy.
I mean, are you older than Ted Cruz?
I don't know. How old's Ted?
I don't know either. That's just a variance.
Tell you what they did to Ted and Fialo, the restaurant there in D.C. They're like, oh, we didn't know,
sure.
It's like,
yeah, you did.
So Ted goes in there, he makes reservations, he gets a VIP room, and lo and behold, Stephen, OMG, there's 6 of these anti-Kavanaugh cabal at the bar. When Ted seats himself and his lovely wife, then all of a sudden they call in, 6 more jump into the place, and they start accosting him. Yep. And but according to CNN, it's not a mob, Stephen. It's not a mob. Listen, if I owned that restaurant,
hey! You just used the M word. What's wrong with you?
Ring the cowbell, buddy.
You used the M word.
Listen, if I owned a restaurant, it was called Doug's Deli Delights, and Michelle and Barack Obama were in my restaurant, who I radically and fundamentally disagree with.
Yep.
If any dipstick came in there and accosted them, you know what? Me and my amigos would personally bounce that son of a bitch out of all of them. We would diverge en masse and keep them away from our customers. But Fiola, they just let it ride. And now all of a sudden, he's got this reflective moment. And he's like, oh, please come back to our restaurant. If you don't keep our patrons safe, if you don't protect those people who are eating your frickin' spaghetti, then you know what? You deserve a crash in the pocketbook.
Yes, you do.
As far as I'm concerned.
Well, you do. If you don't do what you should be doing, which is, hey, these people are paid patrons,
right?
Which means they get priority. You guys are calling a ruckus.
Yeah, their profit, everybody else's overhead, including the staff and everybody and their dog, and you protect them. But oh no, man! In the liberal world of chaos and anarchy, is that we're going to shame people and we're going to shout them down, and that's the left. And if you buy into shaming, irrational, unreasonable protest and chaos, and that's what you want to embrace,
yep.
You know what? I have diddly squat to do with you, and you have nothing to do with the grand experiment in self-governance. And if you want a good lesson in socialism and this glide path that you want to fly down, then take Home Depot's founder's offer up, and he'll fly you down to Venezuela, and you'll see how that toddling town is clipping along.
Yeah, because it's not.
No, they're eating dogs. The government controls water. Nobody has a gun to defend themselves or their speech. So that's socialism. It's been tried and found wanting many countries over an extended amount of time period.
They're all out of dog, actually. They went to the zoos and they took all the zoo animals and killed and ate them. They're out of cats. They're out of dog. They're almost out of mice, I believe. So it looks like they're about out of food, and nobody has toilet paper either.
But here's where you're wrong and judgmental, Stephen, is that it's not been tried in a place like America yet.
I thought Venezuela was very much like America, minus the fact that it was much smaller, on a much smaller scale. It's even more rich in resources than what they thought America was for a long period of time.
Well, damn you for bringing facts into the equation.
The only difference that we have between us and Venezuela is that Venezuela was never an actual market economy.
Yeah, and like you said, they're sitting on a gold mine of petroleum resources, and they put socialists in power, and the next thing you know, it's Thunderdome.
Yeah, you put conquistadors and socialists and dictators and despots into power, and that's what you get. And people think that's what Trump is, but he's not. Out of everything that's been going on, honestly, that when he first started, I was a not Trumper, not a never Trumper. I was a not Trumper.
So have you repented publicly yet?
Yes. I came out and said, look, okay, he's been doing good. He's actually stuck to the Constitution on many things.
Yeah, and he's appealed to the other two branches of government.
Right. He's saying, no, you do your job. You write the laws. I'll
Right.
execute them. You do your job. You make it. You tell me if it's constitutional or not. I'll execute.
Yeah, and again, we're posited as the Nazis. Let me see. Who banned speech back in Germany in the 30s? It's Hitler. It was.
Yeah. He was socialist, wasn't he?
I believe so. Isn't that what the Nazi stands for?
National Socialist?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. I went to public school. I did a lot of weed, so I don't know if my memory served me correctly. But I'm not banning anybody's speech, Stephen. If just like you said when you brought up the $100 offering to the college students, if they draw back in their deep and fetid memory, anytime conservatives ban liberal speech, I've never banned anybody speaking. We had liberals when we first started ClashDaily.com and libertarians who are definitely not pro Trump and stuff. We had them right, and it's a mosh pit of conflicting opinions. And I believe within that conflict, within that differing of worldviews, that's where you get a synthesis of stuff that makes sense. And to me, let the best man or woman's idea, let it prevail. But if you can't argue it and your only recourse is banning it, then you know what? You are in line again with Stalin and Pol Pot and Adolf Hitler. So, your Antifa crap. It's so laughable. Here they are with violence. Here they are with banning speech. And I can't think of any other party aside from the socialists and the communists that do that kind of crap. We don't do it. You do.
Yep. And not only that, but now they're even coming out and they're strictly saying, look, we're going to be violent. We are going to support violence. If we don't support violence, then they will win, because it's no longer a point of being a good person anymore and being and talking a way through facts.
Yeah. Do you think that these guys understand who they're talking to? Of the 300+ million guns in the nation, the majority of the conservatives and libertarians own them.
Yep.
And we're not Johnny-come-latelys. We're trained with it. And so all of a sudden you're going to ramp up and you're going to bring your little nightstick and you're going to grab your 22 that you got from your dad's basement. You're going to come assault us.
I don't even think they're going to drag out a 22. I think they're just going to use knives, rocks, Molotov cocktails, and bags of poo.
Yeah, it's so disgraceful. Their arguments are so vapid, and the fight that they're picking, I don't think they want, Stephen. I don't think they want it. I don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't want it because I know we're going to win, and it's going to look terrible.
No, I had this guy, a very prominent person in conservative and libertarian thought, and he was talking about just what you lined out, the possibility of that kind of clash and that kind of civil war. It's like, I don't want it. It's ugly. I've been into the pits and we do stuff with Purple Heart recipients and soldiers, and war is hell. And I don't think those guys want to go there, man.
They don't. Doug, where can people find you if they want to know more about what you're doing?
Yeah, the main stomping grounds for all my political stuff is ClashDaily.com. And if you like art, if you like pretty pictures, go to DougGiles.art.
There you go. And this is the DOAE Show. That's DOAEShow.com. You can find us everywhere /DOAE Show. We will see you later. Have a good night, folks. Bye-bye.
Good stuff, brother.